welcome to the show. We rolling, so I ain't had time to be writing no long headline. So I just wrote the first word that came to my mind. Why not though, right? But it's a whole lot to that word. A whole lot to that word. I hope this music I'm playing don't knock my video, because on YouTube you can't really just be playing anything. So I got a call from a YouTuber early in the morning, and it was a good call. Finally, as I kind of sat there, comprehending what they had to say to me. And basically, the message was short. They wanted to thank me. I think they were just thanking me for just keeping it real, because the darkness. Yeah, we talking about a YouTube channels that really don't get no views. I mean, in the sector of what you could kind of consider ghetto YouTube, you'd be hard pressed if you could do 10,000 views. Hard pressed. So a lot of people who come on YouTube, they come on for the sole reason that if they can't be popular, they don't want to be. And so you can't really like everybody. I don't know how many channels I done turned to where it's kind of like everybody want to be a YouTuber. They like, I talk to people that I did not meet through YouTube or through that know what I do. And I say, hey, do you ever watch YouTube? And I say, they be like, yeah. I was like, what do you watch? So they give me, a few channels I never heard of. And I go click on them. And I say, they gave me this one channel, this big lady this lady described her as conscious. So I go over there to see what conscious looked like. And she was an opinion show. I mean, she just on here giving out her opinion about things that are going on. I said, now, how did that become conscious? Consciousness is the awakening of a dead mind into a progressive state. Consciousness is the awareness of things unknown that are beneficial. That's consciousness. Look how many groups then came and gone. The comedic community, dead, washed up. The Aboriginal community, dead and washed up. Islam, the Nation of Islam, they still rocking. They on the verge of dying because we don't know what's going to happen after Farrakhan. But so far, they still building. They still building. What else you got? The Hebrew Israelites. Dead. I mean, they're out there. They're participating on some YouTube shit. But the information that they sharing, suspect. But they're mobilized. They're at least mobilized, organized. That's cool. The Nibba community, oh my God, y'all showed up dead. You showed up dead. The Nibbas. The Nibba channels are these opinion channels that don't have a damn thing but chaos to bring to the table. Just chaos, pure chaos. They showed up dead. Ain't that a bitch? You show up to the party and you walk in dead. Ain't no bringing you to life. So, the person that called me, I thought about what they had to say throughout the day, here and there, gave it a little thought. And I think about how much I do not try to get a YouTuber to think I'm cool. How much I do not try to get it to give a damn. I've already did what I had to do, and I affected it completely. Completely. If you've ever had a discussion or been on a channel that mentioned any of these topics, the Coptics of Alexandria, Pitt boss affected you. If you've been on anybody's channel who ever mentioned Booker T. Washington and the Association of the STEM, Pitt boss affected you. If you've been on anybody's channel who even mentioned William Lutz and doublespeak, Pitt boss affected you. The Bitcoin. If anybody got a video with the title effect on the title of the video, because there's only one title before me, and it's a movie called The Butterfly Effect, and then it's The Sonetta Effect. And when I dropped that video, there was nobody with a video on YouTube talking about an effect by me. But now, there's all kind of effect videos. But it's not about, I'm just establishing how powerful the word is. And when you're enhanced with the understanding of the word, you're going to dominate. You don't need credit from individuals. You don't need credit from individuals. You just simply need to see that individual assimilate to your information. And that's all the credit you need. Because the foundation and the root from where I speak, it requires me never to have to adhere to any admiration for what I do. None. I don't need to be acknowledged for nothing. But by merely watching it grow, I can give the acknowledgement to the root of my understanding. I can give my acknowledgement to the sepulcher or the staff that is the root of my understanding. That gives me the ability to clearly see through the danger. I just had a conversation about business 20 minutes ago. The person I'm speaking to bought a building in my city that I need to utilize. And him and I have been corresponding for 3 months. The building he purchased is worth a few $1,000,000. And if he bought it, which he did, he ain't even from Atlanta. He just walked here, bought this building, and I happen to be contracted with the building. So as soon as he bought it, I immediately got his info, and now I'm dealing with him. And the vision is greater than I can express to you. I can't even get into what it's about. I can just let you know that it's associated with that black and that chrome. If you know anything about that black and chrome, I guarantee you I'm on. And I don't got time for no YouTube nigga shit. This is the main reason why the screen black. It's because I don't have 2 seconds because I fuck one of you niggas up. I'm sorry to say it that way. I will get in my car, drive out my goddamn house, wherever the fuck you go live at, and pull up on you and jump the fuck out and give you the business. So to avoid that, so that you could be lovely and you could live your life in graciousness and in happiness, I just faded the black on you niggas just for your own personal benefit, because I'm about that life and y'all bullshit. And I don't want to have to take you there. So that you could be a dumbass YouTuber, I faded the black. Get the fuck out y'all way. Because this means something to y'all. Whatever it's worth. This is for y'all. But I feel happy that I affected the person who called me this morning. About 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:15. Could have been a little later, I don't know. I wasn't asleep though. I wasn't asleep. And thanked me. I guess you could say that they watch all the YouTube groups and the different people, and they don't do what they say they're going to do. They don't do it. Let me flip this back around. I know y'all don't want to see that. And their channels are their opinion about a video somebody did. They're, I see a few OGs in my chat room. So do y'all remember Geneva? And another, what's the other dude's show that she tried to do me on? He was over there. He had the little health food shop in New York. He came in the game, riding on Sonetta Dick so hard. Joe or some shit, I don't know. But Geneva came to my channel and was like, she wanted to be in the conscious community, but she was gay, and nobody was going, and she wanted to be Black Power soldier and some other shit. And I seen her little, you know, desire, and I said, girl, they not gonna get down with you because you don't fit the character in their movie. And so Geneva, we go back and forth with a little while, and you know, and classical YouTubers, I'm talking about her favorite guy, which was Young Pharaoh at the time. And I woke up to go over there on her channel, and she was doing a video about me, but at the time she only could get 20 viewers. And I'm that guy who will go watch a low-level YouTuber and drop some bread in your goddamn chat room and feel pity for your ass. I'd rather do that than to go run with the crowd. I've always been a loner in that capacity. So I'm sitting there, me and about 4 other people, watching this show, and she just get to going in on me and talking about, you know, Young Pharaoh is this and that. And I said, oh my God. But she was going lightweight because it was like her first time expressing a disagreement, but I seen it coming. I was like, oh, this nigga about to turn on me. And you know, at the time, I'm fully invested in the dumb shit that we do on YouTube, so I'm with it. And I said, oh, I'm gonna have to get some evidence on this one. So she calls me, and I record it. She don't know it. She going in on me because I stood her up on a date where we was gonna go to this firebomb place, and I was gonna take her there so I could try to like change her gayness into some straightness so that they would accept, or at least think she was straight. But I guarantee you she was fully gay. She wasn't about to let me play with it, which was cool. I ain't tripping. So now she had this anger problem. So since I stood her up on a date, she was going in. I was recording it all. I'm having fun. I'm like, oh, I got that ass. But I blocked it. I kept it private. I didn't let it out. It was an insurance card because I knew what was coming. And then one day I wake up and she's live. My name's in the title, and she's about to tell it all on DPB, exposing DPB. I was the guy to get, but I can't be got. I can't be bought. So somebody alerted me to the video. Hey, they doing an interview on you, Pitt Boss. I go in the chat room. I give them the warning. Shut this shit down or I'm going live. And I'm going to terrorize your YouTube channel. I knew they wasn't going to listen to me. So I was already typing in the title of the show. Geneva, live on Pitt Boss Show. Now, how can she be live on my show if she live over on the other show? She can't be live in 2 shows simultaneously talking about 2 different subjects. But I knew that the information that I had, y'all not gonna know she ain't live. I'm playing with everybody's mind though. I'm really not even tripping off Geneva. I'm not tripping off her exposing me on the other channel. I get a kick out of playing mind games on dummies. It's fun. Hate to call you a dummy, but I'm known for keeping it 100 and saying how I feel. And if you believe the shit I'm over here talking about when I'm on one, you gotta be a dummy. Now, if I'm over here doing some education, then that's different. But if I'm over here playing YouTube wars and you entertained, I do it strictly for the dummies. So I go live with the recording and I hit that shit. And it's way more entertaining than what the fuck she over there talking about, lying about. And the cold part is what she had to say to me on the video was contradicting in her own voice what the fuck she was over there talking about. And it was like YouTube went wild for this shit. All the people on that channel tuned in to both of us. Back then, you just put 3 or 4 channels up and turn the volume down and watch everybody at the same time. We used to have fun with this shit. It was fun. What these niggas is doing now ain't fucking fun. It's deadly. These niggas is on the verge of getting shot. Somebody gonna shoot somebody's bitch ass on this motherfucker, I guarantee you. And one day we're gonna get it caught on film and everything. And when they go down, you're gonna be like, see, these motherfuckers play too much. This is why the little hobo broad the other day called herself doing a crackhead show on me, because she called me and I just said some shit the way I feel, because I wake up self-made. And what I say don't affect my bank account in a negative way. So I just say what the fuck I feel. And it feel good to be free, to say what the fuck you feel. And when you fuck what you think. Unless you real with it and you can accept the real, because sometimes the truth hurt. And sometimes you need to be hurt. Because lying to your ass, blowing your head up ain't doing you no good. But on this day, I was just having fun, so we wasn't talking about the truth. We was spreading lies and having fun and doing YouTube and playing YouTube wars. And trust me, all these nipper channels didn't exist. They was all in the audience watching, taking notes on how to do YouTube, how to do YouTube wars. So I might play that video. Should I play that video again? Bring it back? I can't do it right now because I ain't sitting on the computer on my cell phone. I got some crazy background music riding in the back. Just to, fuck with you a little bit. I can control your emotion digitally. I can make you tune in and I can make you tune out. You ain't got nothing to do with it. I know you don't believe it, but I can. And I can make my channel pop. Trust me. I just don't want to kneel down to that low level of life to entertain the shit you would actually tune in for. I'm not interested at all. So I just do me. I turn the screen black so you ain't got shit you can look at and point at and think about and make you listen to the words. Because if I turn the screen on and let you see all the glory, all the motherfucking bomb shit, you wouldn't know how to act. You'd be up in here losing it. Let me close this and close that. So what I do can't be duplicated. I don't have to worry about being popular, gaining fans. Like it's nothing more truthful than a person who is not doing it for fame. It's rare. But anyway, it was kind of fun at that time, making it do what it do. I want to give y'all a little bit quick. I'm going to change the subject a little bit real quick, because this is, I do all kinds. I just talk about whatever. But it's something really serious going on in politics. And it's way deeper than what these conscious community nibba channels could even speak on, because they're not, they don't know. I listen to a lot of channels try to talk about it, and they don't know, nor can they see it. But but it's real serious. It's going to affect you, whether you care about it or not. It's going to affect you, and it's dealing strictly with politics at the highest level of the game. And I just want to talk about it real quick, whether you pay attention to this part of the show or not, so that if you happen to tune into what I'm saying and it unfolds in before your eyes, you really understand how deep the game can get. And it directly deals with the central banking system and what we call a fiat dollar. A fiat dollar. The fiat dollar is created by the Federal Reserve, backed by nothing but the fact that they print it and force you to use it. Well, I want to tell you this. That group, we labeled them the swamp. They're associated to the media, CNN, MSNBC, and even Fox. And then a host of Hollywood are all part of what we call the swamp. But the main players are politicians. Those are the main players, because they actually have the ability to make the change. Their influencers are billionaires that control industries. They're the influencers of the politicians who create the laws that you live by. And so, since I believe the year was 1914 with the creation of the Federal Reserve Bank, they bankrupted the country and put you on a fiat dollar and raised you under it ever since. And you have never known anything else but that. And then in the 1970s, they went even further and created the petrodollar, to where they started to control economics around the world through oil. In the 70s, they had a gas shortage, letting you know the change was coming. They have to create a crisis in order to force you to fall in line, and then from there on, they control you. Well, their plan was going swell. And then a group of people that believe in the idea of America, which is amazing to me, because I didn't believe that there was an alternate group that could fight back with any type of real fight. I always looked at that system as impenetrable. Here's what I want you to understand. Information about people you know, such as Barack Obama, that his parents were secret agents. This will come out. You're going to see this come out before your eyes in no time. Trust me. That his parents were agents of this swamp with an agenda, and taught their son, and their son was then recognized by the group and put in power. There's things Obama did in office that fulfilled an agenda, and they were right at the verge of what everybody always looked at in what we call a one world government, where this one entity can control economics throughout the world. What did you know that they did to make this effective? Well, for the last 20 years, they allowed China to grow. 20 years ago, China had a big ass war and had tanks rolling through the Tiananmen Red Square, and the people rose up against the government. And today, that government is going to war against its people again. And there's a group fighting back. And I need you to go and find out who is fighting the China, what is the ideology of the people fighting against the Chinese government? What do the people believe, and what does the government believe? And when you ride on what they believe, when you understand what they believe, you're going to start to see the picture being painted before your eyes. I also want you to think about Brexit. I did a video on Brexit a long time ago. And I want you to understand who is the guy in England who is breaking away from the UK and about to go independent and force all the other United Kingdom societies to break apart and go independent on a free trade agreement. And I want you to understand who do they like in America? Do they like Trump, or do they like the Democrats when it comes to ideology? See, I'm not telling you what's going on. I'm just telling you what to go look at and what to observe and what to research and come to your own conclusion, because there's only one conclusion to come to. But you need to know what to look at. All this shit is going down simultaneously, and it all fits in a puzzle. And here in America is being led by Donald Trump and his associates. And I know y'all don't like Donald Trump. I know you don't. Because you niggas don't never like the right motherfucking side of the fight. You motherfuckers is down for the Black Panthers and don't realize that if the Black Panthers was alive and kicking today, they would be them niggas that we call the Democrats on stage talking about socialism. And who the fuck is down with it? How many of y'all really are down for identity politics or even know what identity politics is? Really? Do you really think that you with it? Maybe you need to go read a writing about identity politics. There's a governor that she tried to run for governor in Atlanta, Abrams. She wrote a paper. Type in Abrams, identity politics, and you can read her thoughts on what identity politics is. Identity politics is the concept of a Bernie Sanders. Identity politics is the concepts of Barack Obama. Identity politics is the concept of all the Democrats running for office who are about to get slaughtered by Donald Trump based on ideology. If Martin Luther King was here today, he would be so down for Bernie Sanders that it would be fucking ridiculous. He would be pushing that Bernie Sanders shit through the door. And guess what? The Democrats can't stand Bernie Sanders. That means they don't give a fuck about him or anybody that think like him. And Bernie Sanders isn't a Democrat. He's an independent, a socialist, a communist, a Marxist. He is everything I told you that the conscious community was. The conscious community is such traitors to themselves that they ain't even got the balls to tell you that they'll vote for Bernie Sanders if he run against Trump. They don't want to be caught in public agreeing with the white man at all. Every time I ask a black woman about Trump, I get the same response. He's a fucking racist and he hates women, some emotional nigga shit. I'd be like, nigga, is you voting for a personality or a policy? They don't know what to say because they emotional. Think like a man and act like a woman. Think like a man and act like a woman. Because if you think like a woman, you're going to be emotional. And you can't run a country with your emotions. So I want you to understand that what's really going on is draining the swamp. That means going after the central bank. How does the central bank and all of its cohorts fund themselves? Well, they control the heroin trade in Afghanistan. They're involved in the dope trade from Mexico. They run CIA operations all over the planet. And they observe and take tolls from organized crime. Well, guess what? Donald Trump is pulling the troops out of Afghanistan. The next thing you're going to see is the Taliban is going to go back into power and they're going to burn down the goddamn heroin fields. They're going to shrink 85% in size, and that's going to devastate the deep swamp. Devastate them. Operations called Black Ops are going to fall the fuck apart. Then China. China's been buying gold forever. Large amounts of it. Because China always knew that the deep state was going to fail. The deep state is a banking system that controls economics all over the world. They're losing. I've never seen them take a hit. But today, I seen them get beat the fuck up. All kinds of ways. The Epstein situation, I want y'all to know this. That the people investigating Epstein been investigating Epstein before they arrested him and already had copies of everything they need to know. And so when they went and arrested him, they knew the deep state was going to kill him, but it didn't matter. They are slowly and methodically destroying the one world government. I know y'all don't see it. I know some of y'all don't care. I get it. I understand. But it's going to affect your life. There's going to be an economic transition. I tried to tell you niggas about the Bitcoin. And you dumb niggas didn't listen. I blew up by my motherfucking self. Now I'm about to tell you another economic powerhouse that you're not going to listen to, that you ain't going to pay attention to. The world in which you understand it economically is about to change. We're seeing it all go down. It's all going to connect all at once. Nothing much than what you notice now is going to change much until that presidential election. And after this 2020 election kickoff, the Federal Reserve is going to try to hike up the interest rate in order to bring down the economic system so that they can blame it on Trump. It ain't gonna happen. I've seen what they're doing. I can't come on here and do these type of videos for you niggas. I just keep it to my goddamn self and position myself. And when it all fall down, I'm gonna blow the fuck up and get the fuck away from y'all as possible. I'm gonna be connected to none of this dumb shit. None of this shit. Notice that I used to film for the new Black Panther Party. Notice they've been on goddamn hush since Donald Trump been in office. They ain't called me once. They ain't showed up at a goddamn event yet. Since Trump been in office, I ain't seen a Black Panther no goddamn where talking about nothing. Why? Because the cards is not in their favor. And they know it. So they go silent. Because there's nothing you can do. And if you go public, you're going to expose yourself. Anything going public is going to get exposed. And we're going to see you for the frauds that you are. Everything done changed. And you know what y'all doing on YouTube? You niggas is supporting the dumbest niggas ever who don't see a motherfucking thing. See, if I decided to do 2-3 hour shows 3-4 times a day just for a month straight, the type of topics you would see pop up, the shit I go into, none of these fucking channels could keep up. I listens to these dumb niggas every once in a while. They don't even fucking have a clue. They talking about what the fuck they seen on CNN. They don't know how to read into nothing. They give you the same punk ass information CNN gave you. They just reiterate it, say it a different way. They ain't going in deep. They not gonna tell you who the players are that operate the central bank. Who are all the players? And what institutions are a part of the central banking? They know, but they don't know how to connect those dots. Now, why was China buying all that gold over the last 20 years? Because they were part of that deep state. And they knew that when it collapsed, if you ain't got no gold, you don't have an insurance card. There's no way to say that you have any value if all you got is fiat dollar. You don't have anything to trade. When your currency becomes worthless, who the fuck wants it? I'm not taking your weak currency, but if you got some real shit, you got something I want, I'll give you the new currency. It's called sound money. When you devastate fiat money, the only thing that can devastate fiat money is sound money. It's the same thing that devastated the sound money was the fiat money. Think about this. When Barack Obama came into office, the real estate market was a disaster. Everybody owned a home, it was worthless. Your stock market was trash. You was poor. What did the feds do? They dropped the interest rate to 0 just to try to offset the fall. And they kept it at 0. Because if they would have raised the interest rate at that moment, the whole damn country would have collapsed under the pressure of rising interest rates. How did you get into that problem? You bought homes with an ARMS mortgage, adjustable rate mortgage, and your rates was low as shit. You was buying $500,000 homes and all you was paying was $2,200 a month. And then when that whole market went collapse, your fucking home rate shot through the roof. Your interest rates went up and you watched your mortgage go up, and so you just bailed out and you folded. Now you got bad credit. You ain't been living in a house that you own since. You're a renter. This is how the central bank was working. Now, Trump comes in office and immediately the Federal Reserve started hiking up the interest rate. But the economy started doing better. Now, how if under Obama they kept the rate low and it couldn't get better, and then under Trump they raised it and the fucking economy took off? Why? Because Trump compensated that by deregulation. See, it was regulations that tightened up the economy and made it tough to get money. And it was deregulations that loosened up the economy and made it possible to get money. And so, as they was raising interest rates, Trump was deregulating business. Then he tacked on the tariffs. Then he started building the wall. Then he started just getting rid of wars. But he ain't doing this just to be doing it. He going for the jugular. He's going to destroy the central bank economy. There's two economies that you are not aware of. It's the one you're living under, the fiat central banking system. And then there's the sound money. Hold on real quick. Somebody wrote something interesting. Jeff Thomas says, Pitt, how did you learn so much about, God damn it, hold up. I gotta tap my screen to bring that back up. Okay. How did you learn so much about finance? And do you think Trump will do away with Obama's Dodd-Frank? Damn, you just asked a cold question. Boy, if I got like 3,000 questions like that, I would do this goddamn YouTube shit. That's amazing. Listen, all I ever did was finance. I know you're not aware of my channel because you don't even got a blue wrench, but you asked an amazing question. I came in the game talking about Booker T and the goddamn STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I simply told them that everything y'all talking about was built on STEM. Every economy ever, whether it was the Greeks, the Romans, the Ethiopians, if they did anything, it is because they had mastered that STEM. And when I got on my channel and I talked about Thomas Sowell and his 35 books, he is the economist of the century. This is why I know. Because I feed myself real information. I don't feed myself no bullshit ass YouTube channels. I never do. I might come on here and talk shit and play games with you, but when I'm off this, I'm only feeding myself real shit. And because I have a solid paradigm, I immediately know when I hear something to tune into that or tune out of that. As soon as they start talking. If anything you got to say is connected to socialism or anybody on that side of the line, I could just tune you out. It's nothing you can teach me. You can't reach me and you can't teach me. But if you whisper a word that's connected to that stem, if you whisper a word that is connected to the kingdom, I'm all ears and I'm paying attention. I learned who the players are. And once you know the players, you just follow the yellow brick road. one player leads you to the next player. And so what I'm spitting off the top of my dome is an amalgamation of 100 different people I've listened to, 100 different books I've read, and I've ingested it so much, so long that I don't even have to think about it. It's like waking up in the Matrix, realizing that Neo is the one in the metamorphical sense of that movie. That's a deep ass movie. That movie is so deep you got to watch it 5 times through different lenses in order to fully get all the things that movie got about 10 subplots to it. So is Trump gonna destroy the Dodd-Frank? Trump is gonna fully, now listen, Thomas Jefferson, if you go back in the day, had to deal with a central bank. Before the Federal Reserve, there was another group that tried to create the Federal Reserve. It was called the 10-headed monster. Same group. Call them German social scientists. Atheists with big brains on how to control the social world. Zionism, its political arm. Here's another story that connects. And if you kind of like stuck in the black world, you'll overlook this. If you grew up in any white neighborhood, you know, near Boston, you might get what I'm about to say. There's a war between two ideologies in the Christian kingdom. One group called the Protestants, the other group called the Catholic, Irish in specific. And in the formation of politics in America, the Protestants are the English who were rich and dominant. The Catholics in this particular group were the Irish who were poor and impoverished and in small numbers. And in a city like Boston, which was Protestant when it came to political control, was invaded by Irish immigrants that were Catholic. And as soon as those Irish Catholics got in large number, they took over politics. They took over politics in Boston. Now, if you really are unbiased about learning, you'll look at it through a lens where you're not looking at the religious aspect, but that the fact that the religion caused these two different groups to formulate a community in order to reach a certain dominance and power. So the Protestants had almost outlawed the Catholic religion in Boston prior to. But as they started to get in numbers and they started filling up the voting block, they fought back, dominating the scene. And if you know anything about Boston, well, that's an Irish town now with the Catholic. Now, here's the thing. Where did they move the Irish? They sent them to the south of Boston. Where did the Protestants live? They lived in the north. It's a north and a south to all these battles. If you're thinking about, I don't know why I'm doing this, jumping all over the place. But if you're ever thinking about real estate, that you want to buy some real estate in a city that you don't understand the makeup of the city, I can guarantee you this much. If you purchase it in the north, you're going to do absolutely well. If you buy it in the south, you're going to become a slumlord. I don't even have to know the city to know that. I don't care what city you live in, the north is more well put together than any other aspect of your city, and I don't give a damn what country you live in. Because this is not just by coincidence that they build this way. They're using magic. They have principles and rules that they regulate themselves by, and so there are certain things that they don't change. Think about it. You're listening. I don't know where you are, but I guarantee you that the north of your city is the most prestigious area around. Financial regulations. I'm wondering if this is going to become a trend. Oh, listen. Since you're in the UK, let me tell you, what's that guy, Boris? Boris is about to separate. It can't be stopped. It can't be stopped. The Brexit is going into its phase. See, the group that's controlling Brexit are politicians. The will of the people is they want to break away and they want to be free. This is how America was created. It was the first Brexit. It broke away from the British. Now the British are breaking away from everybody else to become America Part 2. If you live in the UK, your ass better move over there in Great Britain where that dude is at. If you don't have to live there permanently, but you better go over there and get you a piece of the pie. Because they're going to get a head start. The British always get a head start. That's how you play the game. White folk need a head start. They lack melanin. No. But if you're in America, you better figure out what you're going to do if the economic central banking system falls apart. How are you going to make it through the storm? Just go to work? No. You're going to need some assets. I know this is beyond YouTube. I know it is. I know it's beyond them channels you're listening to. I even know that tomorrow, one of these copycat channel niggas is going to try to do this show in a different way. They ain't going to mention me because the worst thing to do is act like you listening to Pitt Boss or let your audience know, well, you know, I really listen to Pitt Boss and then I try to recreate what the fuck he talking about over here without using his name. Because I don't want to give him no credit, because if he blow up, he'll destroy all of us. Don't you know that's their fear? Like, if I had 2,000 people watching, I would just simply destroy their ass. And they don't want that so bad. They don't want that so bad. Oh, wait a minute. I'm over here doing what you call easy breezy life. And okay, back to the story, because I really would love to just sit and go in on this 8 levels of politics on y'all. First of all, if y'all seen or heard about the Sticks and Stones by David Chappelle, that comedy special had me laughing like shit. It was funny. So-called the Democrats are upset because he went in on groups that are supposed to be off limits. There are 2 off-limit groups in the world. One is the gays, the other is the Jews. And most certainly the Zionist Jews. You can't say a goddamn thing about these groups and be successful without pressure. So I want you to understand that Dave Chappelle is not on the right team. He's a comedian who got out there and played with the edge. But he's not, he's part of Hollywood, and you know, Hollywood don't give a shit if you just talking. If all you doing is talking, they don't give a fuck about you talking. See, Donald Trump ain't just talking. That motherfucker is doing. So when he start talking, guarantee he gonna fill it with the doing. That's why the fuck they don't like Donald Trump. Donald Trump ain't said nothing different than 1,000 other people. The problem is the other 1,000 are just talking. But Donald Trump ain't just talking. So you might want to go follow Donald Trump's tweet page, because amazingly, he uses that to destroy him. Give you an example. Comey, head of the FBI, on all the news channels, it is certain that he committed some sort of fraud, some sort of treason and crime. And guess what? The Department of Justice said, we're not going to charge Comey with nothing. So what did Trump do? Trump came out and said, Comey, you snake in the grass. You got lucky. You're a crook, and you're just lucky. That was a setup. That was a setup. Why did they have to let him go off that first one? Because when you want to destroy somebody, if you just come in the door beating up everybody, you're going to seem like Pitt boss. You're going to be a bully. And as you see, people don't like my channel because they say I'm a bully. Cool. My truck's named Bully. I named my truck after what y'all named me. So my truck's name is Bully. The Dodge Ram, the bully on the block. So if they would have just came in and beat up Comey right off the muscle, Comey would have went and got a bunch of lawyers, and he would have had that charge rendered down to where he pleads guilty and does no time. And that would have been it. But they first have to monstrosize Comey by making him appear above the law. So they said, hit him with some charges and let him go, so that everybody understands that he's guilty as shit, but he appears to be above the law. And so now everybody's reporting, he's guilty as shit and he got away. But he didn't get away. They just gonna let that sit there and let him appear to be above the law, because the whole entire plan is gonna drop down all at once. And they got to set the board up for checkmate. See, if they would have just went and arrested him, he would have just been put in check. And he might have been sly enough to slide out of check. When they come in the door, It's going to be checkmate. And Comey ass going to have some new charges. There's plenty to go. There's so many charges. The same thing can happen to Hillary Clinton. But Hillary Clinton is going to claim to be sick. So sick that she's going to build sympathy and they're going to leave her alone and let her die of natural causes. Obama, they're going to make Obama testify, but out of sanctity for the presidency, they're going to let him go too. But he is guilty as sin. Guilty as sin. These are all deep state players. These are all part of the swamp. These are the same people that black people said the FBI are corrupt, the CIA is corrupt. Ice Cube made a song in 1989 that said you could get your yay from the CIA, and he put that out in 1989. Now, how in the fuck do a rapper from Compton know that the CIA is selling dope, but the politicians don't know that? How in the fuck is that possible? Because everybody know that. We all knew that the CIA was corrupt, the FBI was corrupt, the police is corrupt, the politicians are corrupt. We all know that shit. Now, what entities are against Donald Trump? Let's walk it down. The Federal Reserve don't like him. The CIA, the head of the CIA, they don't like him. He talks about the CIA, the Federal Reserve, the FBI, CNN, MSNBC, and the Democrats, and some of the Republicans. He talked bad about Bush. He talked bad about that other dude that died, John McCain. He went across his head. When he was in Florida, he defeated the Bush machine. Then he came up and defeated the Obama and Hillary machine. And all those machines are the deep state. They're all part of the swamp. And the black people is as dumb as fucking ever could be. At least the political black people. Therefore, you don't have to think I'm talking about you, because you're surely not part of the political blacks. You're just part of the sheep blacks. You're one of the black sheeps. You go along with whatever the black political party has to say. And who are the black political party? That's the NAACP, the swamp. That's the liberal art educated people, the swamp. Those are your socialist professors at all the colleges. Your swamp. That's who's getting destroyed. The social swamp took religion at a school and made the youth immoral in every aspect. And now rappers are your voice of reason. Football players are your activist leaders. What type of shit world are you living in? What shithole country are you living in? And why in the fuck do I need a football player to be my activist? And why in the hell do I need a rapper to come be my politician? On what fucking planet am I living on? These niggas is dumb as a box of rocks. Who in the fuck ever thought a football player had an education? When did that begin? Who the fuck ever went to a football player in high school to get trained in mathematics? So the Democrats did that to you. They exchanged your brains for mashed potatoes. They took your brain and put mashed potatoes in your head with gravy. And you just running around leaking. spewing out dumb shit every time you go live on YouTube, thinking you can fuck with Pit Boss because you got some views. Don't got a fucking thing that you know anything about. Couldn't connect the dot if your punk ass was sitting in a dotted fucking line. So, let's see what's going on here in the media. Okay, let's finish this because I want y'all to see it so that you'll understand how many 99 light years I'm way past that ass. I want you to see it because it doesn't matter who you like in politics. What's going on is so above your fucking vote that who give a fuck who you vote for? It's not gonna stop what's going on because this has been put together so goddamn well. So the Democrats needed votes, and they was gonna have to bring in a new breed of people to do it. And so they came with the open border policies, knowing that this onslaught of people is gonna devastate those who living here and the economics they've already got. This is why Trump put up the wall. This is why he's gonna do the voter registration with an ID. What is the Democrats' excuse? Black people don't have the opportunity to get an ID. What the fuck are you talking about? Every nigga in jail got a goddamn ID. What are you talking about? Bums on the corner got a goddamn ID. You can't even ride Greyhound no more without an ID. Guess who don't got an ID? The illegal alien ain't got one. And that's why they need to stop that, because they need the illegal alien to cast a vote. Why? Because there's a Brexit, there's a Blexit, there's a Nexit, there's an exit. All of it spiritual. All of it spiritual. Because the deep state is not spiritual. The deep state is built off principalities. And the war is between the spiritual and the principalities. How do we know that it's a spiritual war? Well, this is how we know. It is morals versus immorals. The homosexual movement is immoral. The Me Too movement is immoral. Antifa is immoral. Dialectic materialism is immoral. And what is it all facing? It's facing conservatism, which is predetermined by the Constitution, which is based on moral law of the Bible. Not of the Quran, not of the motherfucking Mecha, not of no goddamn dumb shit from West Africa. None of that shit can fight against the swamp. The swamp is all that shit. The swamp is black magic. The swamp is the left-hand path. It's not worried about no nigga walking around with bones in his nose in West Africa. Fuck them. That's some bullshit. It ain't worried about the wicked witch from the West. It ain't worried about that shit. It's only worried about morals and integrity. That's what fucks up the swamp, when you got morals and integrity. That don't help the one world government come to power. You need immorality to become a world domination of immoral behavior. So what did the rap game do for you? It made drug dealers and strippers the top of the game. Anything moral can't get a song on the fucking radio. But the goddamn stripper and the goddamn dope dealer get to make $1 billion fucking dollars, along with the goddamn gangster. They get to run around this motherfucker in a Bentley, talking shit, killing each other, and all other immoral shit. And what does the moral motherfucker get to do? Well, he can sit on YouTube and get 100 views, motherfucker. Fight for your life. If you got any kind of fucking integrity, you're not gonna be fucking popular. Why? Because the sheep come in billions. It's billions of fucking sheep and no fucking billy goats. Why? Well, I'm gonna let y'all have to figure out why. I guarantee you tomorrow, on one of these dumbass YouTube channels, the subject is going to be the central bank, the swamp, or some type of counterpunch to what the fuck I'm talking about, or a bad impression of what the fuck I'm talking about. You cannot find this kind of information on Sonetta TV. They don't know what the fuck they over there talking about. You can't hear one of these motherfuckers get in on a real conversation. They're still over there in the fucking Egypt trying to explain to you the history of a goddamn skull. All of you fucking entertainment opinion channels, y'all dumber than a fucking box of rocks. Because you can't focus on what the fuck entertainment television is doing to understand shit about the world. They work for the goddamn swamp. That's who cut the fucking checks in Hollywood. The swamp. So you gotta be down with homosexuality. You gotta be down with that shit. You can't go on the Breakfast Club and expect these motherfuckers to ask a real fucking question. It ain't gonna happen. They work for the swamp. They ain't gonna invite no real shit on the show that fuck up the program. You can't expect DJ Vlad the Jew to come on this motherfucker and tell you about the deep state. He's part of it. And all them dumbass niggas that come on this show, they're part of it. You can't sit there and promote Nipsey Hussle and he was a fucking god on that dumb nigga shit because you want to be part of the goddamn political correct shit when this motherfucker was giving you gangsterism times 10, live by the sword and die by the sword type shit. But this is what makes me not popular. That I'm willing to cut against the fucking grain and not give a fuck about what you think. It's the way I'm built. I'm the digital pit boss. Take it easy.